Rev up your engines. Okay, today we have a rattling car. It's a 99 Mazda Miata. You can hear that rattling noise. It's a rhythmical noise. So let's pray it's not inside the engine. It's something to do with what the fan belt's trying. So we'll turn it off. Of course, the noise stops then. We're going to take off the air duct to get some working room. And we'll remove the fan belt. You want it down lower. That's up too high. So when we put it back, we'll move it down some. Things on there tight, I'll say there. There. We got that out of the way. So now we can access the bolts. So we'll loosen the alternator and we'll loosen the bolt on the top side so we can swing it in. They're about 12 millimeters. And hopefully we can pull on the alternator and get it to come up. Okay, now the belt is off. Now we'll start it and see if the noise goes away. We'll just put it back on loose for the time being. And now you can see the big clanging noise is gone, so it's fixed. Well, not really. You can't drive it without the alternator belt on. So, I'm assuming it's the water pump. So let's check it. Pull this back off so we can see better. There we go. And you can see the belt not only drives the alternator, but it also drives the water pump. So we'll grab the water pump. There it is. Hear the noise? I wiggle it. The water pump shot. Well, the guy wanted to know what the noise was. He was worried the engine was going out. No, it's not the engine. It's just the water pump. The bearing's starting to go out. So you want to fix it as soon as possible. Just bolts off and bolt on. He's going to fix the car himself. Now, this is why you want to learn this stuff yourself. You go to a mechanic. Oh, it's rattling. You need a new engine. I had a guy spent $3,500. The only thing wrong was the water pump. You can check this stuff yourself. Then put a water pump on or pay a mechanic to put a water pump on. No big deal. Now, I did notice the check engine light on it. It runs a little bit funky. You got to understand, this thing is 25 years old. Painted it because I can smell the paint. They did a decent job. But we'll look inside. What does this thing have on it? Well, we got to push the buttons to figure that one out. 145,818 miles. Now, these little Mazda engines are actually pretty well built. They're not race cars, right? But with a manual transmission like this one, they can last a long time. It just needs a water pump, right? But I did notice it also runs a little rough. Check engine lights on. So we're going to go through it, see what else could possibly be wrong. Get a car that's 25 years old. Hey, that kind of mileage. There's probably all kinds of minor things wrong. We'll see if it's anything serious. First, we'll put it back together, put the fan belt on. We got it on. Then all we got to do is tighten it up. Tightening bolt is right up here. We just turn it until it gets snug. It'll take a while because we turned an awful lot off to get enough room to take it off, to figure out what the noise was. Have patience, takes a while. You grab the belt until it gets pretty snug. Still needs more. And what you do is when you get the belt so that it just turns 45 degrees and it snaps nice, like that, that's tight enough. And as you put the air duct back on, you notice I move that down a little bit further so it's easier to tighten and it doesn't get in the way. Now you can access it better. And of course we do the other side too. Of course now to go back to making noise when we start it up. That's the rattling water pump and the fan belt squealing. It means I got to tighten the fan belt a little bit more. It's a little bit loose. We still got to change the water pump, but he's doing that himself. Since it's running a little bit funky and the check engine lights on, let's check that out. Now in this case, you got to pull this little cover off to get to the OBD plug, so there it is. We'll turn the key on, so the machine will work. Now it's linking. All right, here we go, okay? It's got PO 304, cylinder number 4. Detected, and warm-up catalyst blow efficiency. Well, this is Tennessee. We don't care about the cat. It works good enough, but it's got a cylinder number 4 misfire. That may or may not be serious. Start it up. Listen to that rattling water pump. Let's check out everything. Okay, we're gonna look at live data. Amber black is good, red is bad. We'll start looking at this data. See if we can find anything that looks funky. So far, everything looks pretty good. We're erasing the codes now before we take it for a road test. Now the codes are gone. Now I'm sure the cat code will come back because I'm sure the cat's somewhat warm, but they don't check them here in Tennessee, so people don't care. But the misfire, that's what we're going to check out. But since it's number 4 misfire, it's always the back one. These are labeled too, so you can tell. We're going to look at the spark plug. So we'll take the spark plug out, easy enough on these little 4-cylinder jobs, and we'll look at it. Covered in oil. Now it's covered in oil, you can see, look, it's all oil. And the reason it's oil is because the gasket's leaking. When I look at the spark plug itself, it's relatively clean. If it was covered with burnt oil, I mean the engine would be worn out, the piston rings and gone to the valve seals. In this case, it's getting coated with oil. That kind of shorts out the spark. What you need to do is this. When he fixes his own car, he can easily do it himself. You just take the valve cover off. Inside each one of these, there's a round seal. The seals are bad and it lets oil get in. You buy the valve cover gasket seal kit with the grommets that go in the spark plug holes. And it'll kill two birds with one stone. You'll stop the shorting out because the oil won't be in there to short the spark out. And two, you'll stop the oil leak itself. You don't see it because it's inside there, but once you pull it off, you probably find if you pull the other ones, they probably got some oil on them too. All you need, like I say, is a valve cover gasket kit that includes those 4 grommets, and you replace them all. He's going to do it himself. So for now, we'll put the spark plug back in. Nice and snug. And we'll take it for a little spin. It's all snapped in. You can sure hear the water pump rattling, so he needs to change that soon. And as I said, you get a car with this much mileage, it's 21 years old, you'll probably find numerous things that are wrong. Fix the most obvious ones first. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Disconnect the top hold downs and pull the top up. That's how easy a Mazda is. I like these simple hand cops. Hey, very easy. No motor to screw around with. The check engine light hasn't come back on yet, so here we go. Not for an old car. Sure, idle's smooth, I'll give it that. Yeah. The windshield's dirty as can be. Now, they don't have the strain of a big, heavy car, and they can last an awful long time if you take care of them. They're a lot of fun zipping around these things. I can understand his worry about that noise because it sounds like the engine could be falling apart. But no, it's just the water pump. Realize these are the only 2-seater sports cars that sold more than 1 million volumes of them. They sold a lot of these. They're fun little cars. And if you notice, check engine light didn't come back on. It's not misfiring now, but it will because the oil will fill it up and start shorting the spark plug out, so it's got to have that plugs and the gasket put in. Hey, it's gone through the years pretty good. The dash isn't even cracked. It's dirty. Kid owns it, so they don't clean them much, but everything is still in pretty good shape. Even the seats are in really good shape, so I'm assuming they've been done over. They don't look original. And really, the guy who painted it did a pretty decent job. I can smell the paint. It's some parts of it at least have been repainted recently. So with a water pump and a little valve cover gasket and spark plug grommets, that'd be almost as good as new. Hey, you can get yourself a great deal if somebody doesn't know. Let's say somebody's got this. They were told your engine's going out. It's going to cost you $5-6 grand. So they sell the car cheap, right? Then it turns out all it needs is a water pump. Hey, if you got some simple tools, you could figure it out yourself. You could buy it cheap, put a water pump on, have a really nice little toy. It's a small car, but it's not compact inside. There's plenty of worker room. They're very easy to work on. There's a tremendous aftermarket for these cars. They're an awful lot of fun to drive around. Now, they're not race cars. Guys try to soup them up. Some guys even put superchargers for like $3,500 on them, and they will be faster. But as they stand, they're a fun little toy to drive around with a convertible top. So now you know, sometimes fixing things is pretty simple with just basic hand tools and a little bit of knowledge. And I used a relatively basic scan tool. For this one, you could have used a $35 scan tool. It would have given you the information that you needed. What you learned here is, yeah, the new fancy scan tools, some of them do 375 bi-directional controls, but the basic OBD2 data can give you an awful lot of information on how to fix a car without getting into all this complexity of which one of these 375 things is the problem. Oh, and of course, then they're all interrelated. If one goes bad, the computer tries to compensate, then it trips another code. A basic code reader, a lot of times, is really handy for figuring out quick things. Now, if it would have been something really complicated, like the fuel injectors were having problems and stuff, I would have used a higher level scan tool. But this thing was pretty cut and dry, it turned out. And in a lot of cases, fixing your car is relatively cut and dry as long as you got a little bit of knowledge that I can share with you here. And just some simple hand tools. You might be able to get a good used car like this relatively cheaply that's still in decent shape. Just take my word for this. If you do look at one of these, bring a socket, bring a ratchet, and take the spark plugs out. Take all 4 out and check them. If you see one of them is coated with carbon, it means the engine's worn out, don't buy it. In this case, there's nothing wrong with the engine, it just needs a water pump and a little gasket on the spark plug tube. And here's some bonus questions and answers. BBH says, I have an overheating Town and Country. I got 2010 Town and Country 3.8. One day I was driving, my vehicle started overheating. I didn't see any coolant leaks. What could it be? Okay, well, there's a lot of reasons your car can overheat. Watch my video, How to Fix an Overheating Car Engine, Scotty. Type that in YouTube, watch the video. Pray your thermostat just stuck shut. If the thermostat's stuck shut, that's like a $15 part. Put a new thermostat in. That'll fix the whole thing. You don't see it leaking anywhere? Pray it's that simple. Because if you had a leak, you'd see it leaking, right? I mean, it would be dripping all over the place. Now, if it's not that, you want to pray maybe your water pump's breaking. Check that. See if it's rattling around when it's running. Maybe the water pump's going out. You didn't say how many miles you had. You want to pray it's not a blown head gasket, right? Because if a head gasket blows, it's going to overheat. Pray it's not that. Pray it's just a stuck thermostat. A lot of times it is. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.